Good day, brothers and sisters in Christ. I welcome you to our Sunday reflection for Epiphany Sunday, Year A. The theme of our reflection is Arise and Shine. We observe his star at its rising and have come to pay him homage. Matthew chapter 2, verse 2. Bobby the Wonder Dog was a collie mix, separated from his family while they were on vacation during a fateful summer, more than 4,105 kilometers from home. The family searched everywhere for their beloved dog, but returned home heartbroken without him. 6 months later, towards the end of winter, a straggly and determined Bobby showed up at their door in Silverton, Oregon. Bobby somehow made the long, dangerous trek, crossing rivers, deserts, and snow-covered mountains to find his way home to those he loved. Bobby's journey inspired books, movies, and a morale in his hometown. We could focus on Bobby's adventure and forget that he listened to the invitation to return home. He was transformed in the process and had resources on the way. These elements are present in the journey of the wise men from the East and in our spiritual journey. The church invites us to rise and shine as we celebrate Epiphany Sunday because we have experienced salvation in Jesus Christ. Even though the first reading mentions Jerusalem by name, our second reading reminds us that we who are not Jews have benefited from the fulfillment of the promises made to them. How do we experience this salvation and manifest it for the world to see? We must first realize that salvation is a process, not an act. Though Jesus saved us in baptism, we must make the spiritual journey as the wise men traveled from the east to Jerusalem, or Bobby as he travels home to encounter Jesus more fully. Let us explore the elements of our journey. Let us consider the invitation. The gospel tells us that a star guided these wise men. There are many opinions about the star. Whatever the case, something entered their horizon and changed their lives and prompted their journey. Many of us have something like that in our lives. It may be a blessing or a challenge, a person, an illness, a reversal, a promotion in our profession, or our finances. Something we did or something that happened to us that shook our world and prompted us on a journey. This journey might not be geographical, it could be personal and internal. The essence of the journey is transformation. The star that enters our lives can change us profoundly as we begin to see more clearly the truth about ourselves, others, the church, or God. We see the wise men searching and questioning, full of fear and hope, pain and joy. Our faith journey contains all these elements. It is a challenging journey. We can draw inspiration from the courage and perseverance of the wise men. Like the wise men, we can expect to encounter difficulties and experience doubts. The purpose of these challenges is to transform us. To those with no faith, our journey may appear a little crazy. I believe people would have thought the wise men were crazy at the time. What were their resources along the way? We need to remember that the wise men traveled in company. We are still determining their number as it varies by tradition. Some mention 12, others 13. And the tradition that inspired our nativity scenes fixes them at 3. They traveled in a community of 3 believers. In this way, they supported one another. We need to travel with our brothers and sisters in the Christian community to support one another. Unfortunately, we tend to travel alone. We hunger for community, but are never willing to make the sacrifices needed to build one. The spiritual journey is challenging but indispensable. According to Karl Rahner, we do not have an option. And I quote, "Is it not true that all of us are pilgrims, people without a fixed home, even if we have never had to leave home? Time flies, days go by, and we're ever in the process of changing, ever moving. Somewhere and somehow, we began the journey, and suddenly we find ourselves on the way, a way that keeps moving us forward and never returns to the same place." End of quote. To transform ourselves from wanderers to pilgrims, we need to remember God, who invites us, the reason for our journey, and the resources we have on the way. So this week, I want you to do the following. Number 1, list 3 things that you can do to revive your spiritual journey. Pick the easiest thing on the list and commit to it for a month. Secondly, the goal of the Magi was to adore the newborn King. Attend Eucharistic adoration this week. Have a blessed week.